Hey, how you doing?
Good. Those stars are really cool.
There was supposed to be a board game rep here, and I had a couple questions for him. I wish he had gotten here, but yeah. So this is way cool to be playing on Robert E. Howard's porch with one of his relatives. All right.
By his great-grandmother.
So I don't know if you want to, we can go around and introduce ourselves, or I can teach him the game first and then you can start it. What do you want to do?
I've been filming. All I gotta do is cut it out.
And I just said that.
No, I mean it takes 2 seconds to cut it out.
It is a great honor to be playing here on Robert E. Howard's porch with Jim Howard, a family member of Robert E. Howard. This will be a great capstone to our trip here. I don't know about you guys, but that's how I feel.
Yeah.
So anyway, the game is a team effort game. It's you against me, and I am actively trying to kill you and prevent you from achieving the goal. And the goal, I can read the brief introduction. This is a game of scenarios. This whole book is nothing but scenarios. So we'll play this one, but you haven't played like the game. There's 4 different boards, 2 boards with flip sides. And I think there's something like 10 or 12 scenarios in this book, but they promise to come out with more scenarios. And you have the flexibility of making your own up as well. So this one's called In the Clutches of the Picts. It's just a 1 raven. That's how difficult it is, 1 out of 3. It's for 4 to 5 players. I'll read this. With the echoing war drums of the Pict tribe settled beyond the Black River and the increased frequency of incursions up to the Thunder River, many settlers flee the Kanajara territory for the safer lands of the Kingdom of Aquilonia. While scouting along the border to aid Valenus, the commander of Fort Tusculum, Conan bears witness to the massacre of a column of refugees from Velitrium. The Picts withdraw victoriously with a female prisoner who Conan recognizes as Iselda, the daughter of the city's governor. The Sumerian knows that Iselda's life can now be measured in mere hours, as she will shortly be sacrificed on the altar of Jubal Sag, the Lord of the Beasts. Back in Fort Tusculum, Conan assembles a small group of experienced warriors to rescue the governor's daughter and, at Valenus' request, bring back the head of Zogar Sag. He is the shaman leader.
And Zogar Sag?
That's Zogar Sag. All right, so when you see that guy, you want to go after him.
Can we bring back his hand for a bonus?
Of course you can.
You are a real handsy guy.
As long as you don't actually take the miniature's head and hands, I'm fine. This is the Princess Iselda. All right, so you'll be looking for her.
We're rescuing.
And so, oh my gosh, it's daylight. So you all have your blue icons, right? Your blue gems.
Yes.
Those start in your green area. However, in this scenario, you are fatigued from getting to the Pict village. And it specifically says that the game starts, let's see, you start with 5 gems in your fatigue zone. So you have to move 5 to your red zone right away. Right? So you start fatigued. So we'll run through the character card briefly, all right, and then as their questions arise during the game, we can address them again. But basically, if you wish to attack, you use the axe up here, the melee. Now notice the color of die that you get to use. Red is the best die to attack with, followed by orange, then yellow. So if you have like an axe red, Conan has an axe red, he gets to use the best die for this. Now you can notice there's a red number in that box.
Yes.
Lizzie's is 4, yours is 5, James is 5. Danny's is what, 4? 4. That's how many gems you can move from your green zone to the axe for additional die of melee. All right. Then the archery one is just ranged attacks. If you happen to have a ranged weapon, it works the same way. That's the color die you use, and that's how many gems you can move up there to roll extra dice. When you are attacked, you can opt to move gems for defense into the block zone. And the way the game works, one of the interesting mechanics, this is one of the things we really had to track down because the rules didn't seem to be definitive for us. But we tracked down the answer finally, my son and I. You can either block/dodge with this box here, or you can use your armor that you have. You don't get to do both.
Okay.
So if you decide to use the armor, you're stuck with it. Then the
just for that turn though, right?
Yes, it's for that turn. Yeah, actually just for that attack even.
Okay.
Yeah. And then on the second column you have the run. That's your move icon. You get to move what's in the big black box with the white number. You get to do that for free. So you can move 3 squares. Squares are identified by the white lines that you see on the board. So Conan can go 1, 2, 2, and that's it. Or you can go 1, 2. Okay. Then, oh, and by the way, Billette, you can start in any square you want. You can start with Conan, Shivatas, or REHDays. All right, moving across. This is your manipulation zone for simple and complex maneuvers. Like opening a lock is a complex move, and you have to have 2 hits to be a success. If you want to open a lock, 2 hits would be 2 axes in any combination, like 1 axe and 1 axe would be fine. Again, it shows what color of dice you get to use. I believe Shivatas is really good at that, right? You have a red, so you can like open locks.
I also have a bonus that gives me some kind of lock picking.
Oh, okay, so you've got a lock picking skill as well.
It says lock picking. This character rolls an extra red die when picking a lock.
There you go. So you're really good at it. Because you only need 2 successes to open a chest, for example. Other manipulations items would be things like it's free to drop a weapon. It takes no gems to do that. But if you want to toss a weapon, so like let's say Habitus had picked up a chest and Conan's here, he can toss a weapon to him. All right, and you have to do the complex manipulation to do that successfully.
And that'll cost gems.
Yes. Okay. Now that costs gems. Okay. Then moving across, that's your reroll. You put 1 into the reroll if you wish to reroll one of your dice for any occasion. All right, for any occasion. You
So
can
like at the beginning of your turn, you just set a die there. And
yes. So you'll just move it up there, just like that, and pick up the dice and reroll it.
Is there a way throughout the game that we lose fatigue and get these back?
Yes, there is. In fact, I'm glad you mentioned that because the next thing across the board, see a little daylight and the moon? All right. If you the first thing you do in any phase is you make a decision. Am I going to be aggressive or passive? If I'm aggressive, you put a red one to distinguish it from the others up there.
Okay.
All right. If you want to be passive, you go down to the moon. Basically, active, aggressive, you can basically do anything you want to. I mean, anything in the rules you want to do. Move, attack, defend, whatever. If you choose this, you get back more fatigue points, but you could only stand and guard yourself. I mean, that's it. That's all you can do. You can't open a lock. You can't move. You can't cast a spell. Nothing.
And you decide that
at the very beginning of each turn. Then you move the appropriate number from your fatigue zone back to the green zone. And the appropriate number are what you see underneath the sun, which would be 2 in this case over here, or 5. I think everybody's numbers are the same on those.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4,
2,
5,
3,
6,
4.
7. Yeah,
Yep.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Now, if one person has died in the game, your adrenaline kicks in, and you get a little bit more back. So if one person has died, you get 3 back. If 2 people have died, you get 4 back in the aggressive slot.
That's a cool dynamic.
Yeah, right. I agree. All right, so if your chits wind up in the brown zone, you're in trouble. There's only one way to get those back, and that is find a chest with the life potion. There are 2 life potions in this random deck that I've shuffled, and there's other sundry items in here, everything from armor to weapons, explosive orbs, life potions. Every scenario will also be different. There's a larger stack that you can use for other scenarios as well. All right, so that's it in a nutshell. I start out, let's see how many do I start out with for this scenario. I start out because there's 4 heroes with 11 gems in the reserve zone and 4 in the fatigue zone. So 11 and 4. So I get 11 of these. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then... Okay. Every turn I get 7 back. You really don't need to know a lot about the Overlord because we can just not bog the game down. I can add movement, I can defend, and I can reroll. I get 7 back at the beginning of each one of my turns, and this is called the River, and it's a pretty unique system. I can activate 2 creatures a turn, and just so you understand that I'm playing by the rules when we play, I can activate 2 creatures a turn, and they cost this amount. So if I want to activate Zogar Sag, he costs 2. What I do then is I take him out, and I slide him way up here. Okay, then I go ahead and do his move action and then his attack action. All right. If I want to activate him as my second thing, I can, but now he's going to cost 8.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
So now he costs a lot more.
Gotcha.
And there's 2 phases to your turn, movement and attack.
There's move and attack.
Unless you're passive, then
That's
it's
right.
movement and stand still.
I don't know if Patrice came across this in overseeing the game, but we're a little unclear if you can like move and then attack and then go back to moving again.
Okay, like a half movement.
Yeah, if it's move and attack. We found that the teleport skill for Hadrothus is amazingly powerful. Doubly so if you're allowed to move, do something, and then move again. Because he could teleport in,
attack, and then move,
and then
teleport out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we're not sure about that, but we can.
I think we should do that scenario on this.
Sure.
I think it is.
Yeah, let's just do that.
We had meeples to play.
Yeah.
So it was nothing like this. I mean,
Not meeples.
Trust me. Who painted those, by the way?
I did.
Wow, you're good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Cheers.
No kidding. Did you see the base?
He did, yeah. He put moss on some of the base there.
Wow.
Okay, so
So maybe we should introduce ourselves real quick.
very good. Yeah.
I'm Wesley Conley, originally from Texas, south of San Antonio, but I've been living for a couple of decades up in Wyoming, and came down for Robert E. Howard Days from Riverton, Wyoming.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, and I'm his wife, Lizzy.
And she's playing Belit in this scenario.
Chris Riddle out of San Antonio, Texas. I'm playing Hadrothus.
Yeah.
That guy.
Danny Lubin. I'm playing Shivatas, San Antonio, Texas.
James Claxton, it's our second year here. It's awesome, and I am playing Conan. I'm also from San Antonio.
All right.
And we let him be Conan.
Yeah.
So there would have been no fighting.
In every RPG that we've played all weekend, I've been a lady, so I got to be Conan.
You took one for the team the whole time.
In one fell swoop. All right.
You're still getting cute. You'll never live that down.
No sneaking.
Okay.
That's my first
You
move.
never get to use Conan again in any game.
You hit him kill on the first move. How'd you even do that?
All right. I get 3 purple guys. One right there. One right there. And one right there. They're milling about when y'all get to the village. And again, you get to go first. After you go, I start my turn, and at that time, I move the counter down. You win the game if you fulfill 3 conditions. You're all alive, not all alive. If at least one of you is alive, you're able to and able to escape the village confines off the board. Second one is if you have Zogar Sag's head. Okay, and the third one is if you get her back. You sell them. Those are the 3 things you have to do for a victory. I win if any of those things do not happen.
So you have to do all 3.
You have to do all 3. I guess you could take a moral victory if y'all wanted to say, okay, you get the princess out. Oh man, we didn't get Zogar Sag's head. Technically it'd be a loss, but you could have a moral victory by getting her back.
We're just going to call that a loss.
Okay.
Especially with this guy. He wants his hand and his head.
All right. Well, this is my reinforcement tile, by the way. I can use that at any time and get reinforcements.
Okay, so this is what they use to level, and the rest of the game is to tell you the level of difficulty in the. You said on the scenarios. When we read the scenarios, if you go the crows or.
Oh yeah, the crow's a symbol of the level of difficulty. So when you're looking at the scenarios of which one to play, it's either 1, 2, or 3 ravens. That's right.
And then I had one more question.
Yeah.
So you said they're lolling about as we appear in the village. Right. So it is also your job to be the theater of the mind for this as well?
Yeah.
Or are you just the try to kill
a
us?
little bit?
Exactly.
Yeah, kind of
That's
the
my
DM.
question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What little DMing needs to be done, most of it's handled in the rules, but yeah, you're right. And so everybody grab a little red one to put on your aggressive or not aggressive. And that's the first decision you have to make right now.
The first
you want to heal up and get those fatigue points back, but burn a turn basically. Oh, and you have to do those 3 conditions by turn 8. If the marker goes from 7 to 8, you lose. You have to hit all 3. You have to escape the village, get the princess back, and get the head by turn 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have
and the rest of that is you have to escape.
So you have to escape by 8.
So.
Or on 8.
Okay,
you have to escape on 8.
Is the rest of this just for a different game?
Oh, other different scenarios.
Okay,
That's
got
right.
you.
Okay.
So the easier ones are
shorter.
Yeah.
And y'all can talk. This is completely in the rules that you can talk.
That's what I was going to say. Is anyone aware that we're here?
Conan starts here?
No, not yet.
No. Well, we should get some of our. Since nobody knows we're here, it doesn't hurt us to lose a turn. It's a dead turn. I mean, or do we lose one of these in a turn?
Yes. That'll be your action for the turn.
That's going to give us 7 instead of 8 turns to get.
I guess I have one more question that might help
3
them.
OBJs.
Is there a stealth element to this game? Is there a point where you can? Yeah, exactly. Can I catch them flat-footed?
I don't think so. I have not I've only got to play this twice myself, and both times I was the Overlord because I had read both books, because I bought the game, I guess. I have yet to play all the characters, so frankly, I'm not even 100% aware of all your abilities, but I don't remember anyone saying anything about stealth.
Yeah.
Shivatas is a thiefy kind of guy, and he's fast, but I don't think you have a stealth, do you?
No.
I guess
all movement, defense,
yeah,
and
his
lock
moves.
picking.
I guess maybe the better question is, when are they aware? When you decide they're aware of them? Or...
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, right. When they begin their turn, they can see them entering into the village.
Gotcha.
So if I begin my turn and we're
That's a good
all
question.
waiting to regain our
That's kind of what I was
fatigue,
asking.
they're going to be
is the
aware
same
that
thing you
we're
asked. That's what I was
about
asking.
to-
If they're aware of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
So we're all going to be aggressive.
yeah, I'm going to be aggressive. I don't think we have enough time. This seems
I'm going to give you a hint. It's fun to spend all your gems the first turn because you get to do a lot of stuff. but when I hit you and you sure wish you had a couple gems for defense, then you'll be upset.
I'm
all right.
I'm on defense.
So just be a little bit aware of that,
sucks.
okay? And you may not
Wizard.
want to go hog
Yeah,
wild
you're
the first turn.
squishy.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I know,
say
I
if-
need those because I get hit.
I'm going to
That's all of it.
My fur and leather is not.
You have the ability to portal in and out.
I can teleport. Yes, that's right.
yeah,
put
I'm going to
this here.
heal up then too.
That icon means you have to climb over that and use your climb skill if you want to get from here to here.
I have a question.
Teleport. I can teleport.
Yes, you can.
If one of us is passive to regain gems, do we all have to be passive?
No.
Or okay.
Not at all.
So somebody can chill while two others are
Yeah.
That's right.
procuring.
I think that's what we're gonna do. I think Lizzy and I are gonna be aggressive.
Lost your
Yeah, I'm gonna sit back a little bit because I'm kind of weak as well.
You can stick with I'm gonna do aggressive too, Lizzy. If you're gonna stick. You're gonna say aggressive.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
If you are.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
did you concur? Sure.
I just grabbed the ones you gave him.
Okay.
Grabbing stuff.
By
I left
accident.
it. Well, I left it next to him.
Don't cover for him.
Okay, so did y'all decide? Everybody decide?
Yes.
All right, move your tokens over if you haven't already.
Do I get cards?
That's your only cards.
Okay.
So move your fatigue back over.
How many do we get?
2.
Well, whatever it says. So if you're passive, you get 5, and if you're not passive, you get 2.
Back over to the green.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's just this turn.
That's right. That's right. All right, now you decide how you want to move and in what order you want to move.
And okay.
We can't move, right?
Right, that's correct.
Right.
If you were passive, you can sit there and defend.
Okay. Well, then it's you two and y'all are together.
Let me ask. I only have 2 on the move. I can move here. If I move there, is that do I have to be in his square to attack him?
Okay,
There's a
yeah.
ranged attack.
Okay.
All right, so if you have this one right here, the square with the bow and arrow and the
Okay.
shield in the target.
Okay.
So if you have something, like if you take a look at your weapons, they will tell you. You can go ahead and lay them down. There's no secrets or anything. Like you can throw your battle axe.
Okay.
See the thing with the hand
Oh,
with the
I got
arrow
you, yeah.
coming out of it?
Yeah.
That means you can throw it, but you're not going to get it back. So you can throw your battle axe if you want to, but it's going to land in the square that you end up in.
Can I pick it back up once I get to the square?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
In which tells us how many squares we can move?
The little guy running with
Okay.
the black.
With the big black.
And
You have the most. You got 3. So yeah, I'm just gonna move it right here. And can I attack in the same
Turn
movement,
one.
or is the movement all one turn?
You can attack in the same turn.
Okay.
If that's what you're asking.
Yes, I'm
Do
going
you-
to.
Do you have to be in the same square to attack or just adjacent?
Well, no, that's what he was saying.
Well, that's what
if you're an adjacent, you can do the throwing, or you could do a bow and arrow.
But like to do a melee, you need
Yeah,
to be in the same
yeah.
square.
Yes. Oh, yes.
so I'm
But
gonna do.
anywhere.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was adjacent squares like.
If you attack me with like a bow, I can't. Oh well, I'm kind of hidden behind here. I can't do that.
No.
It's line of sight to line of sight, which is why the little white dots are there.
Yeah.
So if I'm anywhere in this square, and you can match up line of sight to these dots, then I'm in your range.
Okay.
Represents a fluid. They're walking around.
So,
or-
do I need to give this card up since I'm throwing it?
Oh, you're gonna throw it right away, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Excellent.
Hell yeah! he's-
Leroy
Jenkins!
All right. So what you do is no, you get red.
Oh, okay.
So what you do is you take let's see, you have 1 red dice automatically.
Okay.
Now, in order to get this red dice, see how it says plus red?
Mm-hmm.
In order to get that red, you have to spend a gem, and you get 2 red. But you have to spend a gem.
I will.
Okay, so you spin a gem, you just
It
move
took
it up
two.
here to the battle axe.
Okay.
I mean, actually, you're throwing it, so it's
All right, yep.
ranged. All right, so what happens is you get the red die from the card, but see how you get the orange dice from the square? So in this case, you're going to get one red and one orange, but you can move up to 4 gems in here and get more orange dice if you want.
I'm just going to do one because of your warning right before the game.
Okay. See, that was my insidious plot.
Scare you off your...
You guys should really take it easy for the first 6 turns or so. You know?
We only have 8 turns.
Right. And I'm afraid we're going to have to be kind of careful how you roll because you don't want to mess your gems up.
I'm just going to roll on the
So,
board.
yeah, exactly.
We can.
Well, isn't that something?
He's dead.
3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Okay, so he's shooting at my purple guys, which are right here. No, he's in the wrong spot because I demonstrated.
Yeah, you demonstrated.
Yeah, there we go. He has 2 hit points, and let's see. I have an armor of 2. That means that I automatically soak the damage of 2 axes.
The orange die.
Well, in this case, it could be the orange, right? So I would have to decide if I want to forfeit enough gems to try to block the other 3 axes.
Or just let him die.
Yeah, or just let him die. And so he's some of my best picks, actually, if you look at the stats. So I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to go ahead and pay some gems here.
I've been on fire with the rolls today.
That was really a very good roll for the 2 dice.
You're Conan.
I'm
What
gonna,
the fuck are you expecting?
I'm gonna
Touche.
move 4
He was
gems up
expecting
here
your life to
Yeah.
and try to block. And
Lose him in the driveway.
Armor,
Yeah.
he has armor. Armor always uses the yellow dice.
Okay.
So they're the worst. So I get 4 of the worst dice to try to block the 3 attacks.
Okay.
And I was wrong about the 2 hit points thing. I misspoke. Everything on my river has 1 hit point unless it's a special token. And I put them on the number of hit points they are.
Okay.
So like Zogar Sag has 5 hit points, and when you do damage to them, I just move it down like that.
Okay.
So unless it's a character like that, they all have just 1 hit point. So I have to block all 3 axes or he dies. So actually my odds are not that great. I get 4 of these, so I'll reroll 1 of them. Well, I got 2 of them,
2, so you just need 1 more.
and then I need 1 more to
Come
block.
on, 0. Yeah.
All right, so at this point I can choose to forfeit another gem and re-roll. And I'm so close now that I probably ought to try. I'm only 1 axe away.
Yes.
Jester's dead.
You couldn't roll the low points whenever we were doing the RPG,
Yeah,
but
right.
I have.
I'm
have
gonna
a
do it again.
question.
You can re-roll as many times as you want to.
Oh, y'all
Tell you
played the
our chance.
Modiphius game?
And I have a question that's
I'm sorry,
kind of
y'all played
not
the Modiphius
scenario
game?
related.
the RPG one.
Can you buy